are joined by Sascha Mallah. He is CEO of Teufel Audio. Hi, Sascha, welcome.
Hi.
So let me just start with the first question. You've been with Teufel since 2013, starting as Sales and Marketing Director, and since 2016 you are the CEO. So maybe you can walk us through your path to the top level of management. How was it?
Certainly I can do that. I started my career, or let's say I started business. I studied business in the Netherlands, and after that I started my career working for a travel retail organization specialized in consumer electronics. And those consumer electronics were sold on airports, harbors, and military bases worldwide. And I was running the business development section for the organization, building more outlets, growing the business. And during those years, I've learned everything with regards to retail and consumer electronics. Then I moved on to Harman International, the consumer division of Harman. Harman is a multinational audio company. Brands like JBL, Harman Kardon, AKG are part of their portfolio. I was starting in the UK as a business controller, and I did that on purpose as I wanted to dig deeper into finance and controlling. I, however, changed my work changed rather quickly in the UK. I was asked to take over the responsibilities of the general manager position for UK and Ireland, as the company was in, let's say, deeper problems, and I had to do a reorganization and turnaround, which I have done with the team together successfully. 3 years later, I handed over the UK entity to one of my team members and became part of the management team of Harman in Europe. That was then based out of Amsterdam. Fantastic team around me, was sales director at that time, responsible for the so-called EMEA Plus region. 140 plus countries where those brands were distributed and sold. So we all know EMEA, and the plus at that time was defined as all neighboring countries of China. So I, again, learned a lot about international business, retail, and even more about consumer electronics. And after that, I then started, as you rightly said, 2013 at Teufel. Teufel is a direct-to-consumer audio brand from Berlin, and I started here in Berlin. Already during that time, the company was owned by a private equity investor. The first 3 years were quite interesting, quite challenging, and the challenges were bringing me again into a position where I was asked to take over the responsibility of the company. I became CEO in 2016, found myself again in a position to restructure and turn around. And clearly with the focus of growing the business profitable. And now 6 years later, I clearly say we have not only achieved, we have overachieved our targets and goals. And the previous private equity investor is very happy because the company was then sold under their ownership to a new private equity investor in 2018. And that's a bit where I'm coming from, how my career looks like. And certainly what was always driving me is the wish of taking extra responsibilities and creating value for the various companies I've been working for, and motivating my team to support this as well. And yeah, that's a bit answer to your question.
And what can you say us about Teufel and how things changed in the grand scheme since 2013? For example, how are you adapting to the market change, to the societal changes in Teufel?
Yeah, good question. Actually, two questions. Let me split them. So the first, what has changed since 2013? An awful lot of things. So I would say that the most important ones coming up in my mind are that we have repositioned the brand towards a much wider audience. You have to remember 2013, the brand was known only to hi-fi and home cinema enthusiasts. And today we are selling our products European-wide through our own web shops, our own stores. So we've been not only repositioning the brand, but we've been, let's say, making it more accessible and also approachable by the end consumers. We've built a top-notch software and hardware product team, and they are delivering best-in-class audio products, competing with multinational companies, as we all know them, right out of Berlin. We've been building our D2C model even stronger. We've rolled them out into Europe. We have opened our own Teufel stores. And I think those are the major points, I would say. Clearly, this was only possible because we have been supporting the entrepreneurial thinking here in the organization very much. The customer needs are part of our value chain. So it has been a true transformation of the company, of the brand, and also the product portfolio. And the second part of your question, how are we coping with the changes in society and the market? Yeah. If you ask me tomorrow, there are new changes and the market has been developing further. So I think the last 3 years were, for all of us, a fast forward ride, roller coaster ride. So we're hiring top talent worldwide. And with that, we are trying to be in a good position to maneuver through those challenges we are having with finding the right people here in Germany. This is not the case anymore in many circumstances. So we had to go wider. The company language had to change to English. We had to become more flexible in terms of where employees work. So in terms of mobile working, working from home is part of our daily routine. And of course, on the other side, working with the key suppliers is much more important than ever before. We all know about the semiconductors or the chip shortages which has hit the world. This is, of course, also impacting our business. All our products are equipped with chips, and we have to be in direct contact with those partners to be sure that we are getting the components we need. So this is certainly what has changed a lot, but so much more has changed. This is just to give you some understanding. And yeah. So
you've been mentioning some challenges companies face in Teufel specifically. You've mentioned some transformations. But what can you say about the insights you've gathered from these experiences? And is there anything you've learned over the course of your career that you wish you knew sooner and could be a good advice to our young viewers?
I would say certainly what has changed a lot is that trust your feelings more. I think that, again, the last 3 years have learned us that pulling out the books and trying to find examples will not make us succeed, because a situation like that has never been there before. So you have to trust your feelings much more and also base your decisions much more on feelings than on numbers and history. Of course, you need to combine what can be combined. That's certainly something what I've learned over the last 3 years. What I've learned or would have liked to know earlier is that I spent lots of long days and weeks working behind the computer screen in my early years, which was how we did it. But this is, of course, not always or was not always creating value in balance to the input of hours I have put in. I would have been grateful to understand that earlier. However, if I wouldn't have done that, maybe I would miss something. So what I would say is go out, leave your laptop behind, talk to people more about your business, try to exchange with others, listen to them, what they think their challenges are, and also what their success stories are, because you can learn so much from them. And another great thing I have certainly learned and understood too late is how great it is to own a decent number of fantastic audio products from Teufel.
So being social, working efficiently, trusting your feelings, and owning Teufel products.
Exactly.
So as a final question, let me circle back to our Under 30 summit. And I want to ask, as an established company founded nearly 33 years ago, what are you doing at Teufel to promote young talent?
First of all, we have to find young talent, or the young talent first have to come to work for us before I can promote them, or we. I think we do quite a lot. I'm not going to list up now the benefits of the company here, but I think the more important things are that we are offering individual training plans and career development plans for our employees with a dedicated team supporting this here internally. We are offering the possibility to take on not only the job you are hired for, but we give the individuals extra responsibility when they are open and happy to do that. And this creates so much more of knowledge within a, let's say, wider range of understanding the business than you would have if you remain sticking to your daily routines. So I think that young talent who are coming to Teufel will be able to fill their backpack of knowledge extremely fast and with a lot of additional learnings they would not get in a large company where they will remain in their department and might not see any other departments, how they work. This is certainly different here. What else do we do? As we are creating, or as we are hiring on an international level, of course, this is creating very multinational teams as well. Also something which is bringing great additional knowledge and learnings together. And many more things, as being only a company of roughly 400 employees in total. The possibility is there to talk to anyone, and also more or less most of them, and this is giving you also possibilities to ask and understand much more what the others are doing than in a company with thousands of employees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very important. Unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you so much for this interview, and I wish you all the best.
Great pleasure. Wishing you all the best as well. Take care. Bye-bye.